Hey guys, Yu-Gi-Oh! Theory TV here, and I'm here to talk to you about cards currently on the ban list that I would like to kind of make an argument to come off the list as part of like part two of my ban list discussion. There are some cards that I find pretty interesting here to take off in the game, and so I kind of want to see what you guys think about that and what you guys would think. So the very first card on the ban list is Applecliff Four Towers, and I want to make an argument for this card coming back to one. Two is a little bit of a threat, but one not so much. I think that with cards like Kaiju's and things like that running around, like Mermails that we're already taking anyway, I think that this card can come back to one. Clyforts have not done anything, and I think that it was pretty harsh of them to axe the best card in the deck, given the fact that the deck never was the number one deck. I mean, a lot of people would think that it was the best deck in the game, and yes, throughout time it got a lot of support that was pretty annoying to handle. But we need to be real honest here. Clyforts have not done anything since their hit with this card and their reduction of Scout. And it's not the deck that it once was. I think this card could use Towers coming back to one to have a boss monster card to put them back into the game. The next thing I'm going to make an argument for, and nobody's going to like me for this, is the Dragon Rulers. I think the Dragon Rulers need to come back. And I need them to come back at 3, and I want them to ban number 95 and any of this FTK, OTK potential stuff. I know a lot of people are going to be upset at this, but hear me out. The reason why I would bring these cards back is because their advantage is not the same anymore. A lot of people are scared of you having this giant deck that could just soul charge everything back and then have this board that's unbeatable. But let's face it, rank 7s, although strong, are not what they used to be. Rank 4s are most definitely the way to go. And every rank 4 deck plays Abyss Dweller and all these other cards that can literally just hurt the deck. We have more effect negators than we ever did before. So cards like Lose a Turn naturally get better against this deck. And let's face it, what Dragon Rulers did incarnately with Return from the Different Dimension, Pendulums do every single turn. And in fact, they're even worse because they're all level 4 monsters that end up giving your opponent some insane access to the extra deck to all these more powerful cards. And the advantage of adding a blaster back or a title back to your hand from your deck is just not the same. Now, of course, I do want the babies rebanned again. The only thing I want is the adults back, and I want to be able to play Dragon Rulers up against the current format with like rank 8s and rank 7s and things like that. I think that it would be pretty cool. Besides, these rank 8s and rank 7s aren't seeing a lot of play anyway. No, Divine Dragon Knight and Felgrand and Draco Pals is not really counting anything. Stratos can come back. Let's face it, we're trolling by this point. Sangan, a lot of people have argued this, whether it can go back and forth. I think that it can come to 1, just to kind of see where it's at. Sure, it's Strategist of the Necros. It needs to come back to 1. Sorry, Necros got axed way too hard. Tribe Infecting Virus, a lot of people like to see that card come back. I think I would too. El Shadal Construct, probably one of the most controversial cards that got put on the ban list last time. Construct needs to come back to 1. Shadals did not deserve that, and Burning Abyss got to run around with Dante in 3, and then they got that stupid Fiendish Rhino Warrior anyway, and then so basically the hits to Graph and Seer were completely nullified. So I don't see why Construct's at on the ban list. I could see why someone would want to keep it, but I'd probably argue for it being off. Shadals have not done anything really since that deck's been out. Byronic, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Synchros need more reaction to exceed monsters, and I think Byronic is the card to do it. Heavy Storm or Giant Trunade. This is these two cards and Harpy's Feather Duster. These cards are kind of like all up in the air. I think Harpy's Feather Duster is too one-sided. Heavy Storm, people argue, sets up your own pendulum scales. But I think that's better than Harpy's because if I have a bunch of back row that will not die because I can destroy all your back row, that's kind of unfair. And it's just kind of like more one-sided like Regeki is. And Giant Trinity I think is pretty fair because if they can stop you, per se, or you don't kill them, they still have other cards. So, yeah. I think that that's pretty good. Spellbook of Judgment can probably come back to 1 with a small errata. My errata would be that you can only add up to the number of spellbook cards activated that turn. And it at 1, and you can only activate 1 spellbook of judgment per duel. I think that would be very fair. Solemn Judgment should come back to 1. I know we have Ariadne in the game, but Solemn Judgment is around in the OCG, and I think that it's fair enough that it should come out over here too. We need more negation against a lot of stuff. Artifact Moral Talk, a card that's limited. I know I saw a lot of Super Quantums playing some Artifact Engine stuff. I thought it was kind of neat. I think Artifact Moral Talk is actually a card that's worthy of being banned. And at the same time, a card that could be brought back to more than 1. I'd probably argue that it needs to probably be banned. I think Artifacts getting even remotely a hint back into the game is kind of scary, and Super Quantums can really, really abuse that. I'd like to see Dandelion go to 2, just because I like to see what would happen. Debris Dragon needs to go to 3. I don't know why this card's at 1 currently right now, especially if Dragon Rulers are unbanned. Like, if Dragon Rulers are unbanned, yes, bring Debris Dragon to 3, because it would encourage synchros more. Graph, Malbraquet of the Burning Abyss. This card probably needs to be banned by now. I was not in favor of doing it, but Burning Abyss are literally getting more support in Infinite Gold in, like, 4 days. Like, what? No, that's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So, yeah, Graph probably needs to be banned at this point. Mathematician needs to go to 2. That was way too unfair of a hit. Rescue Rabbit needs to go to 2. That was just absolutely... it's been unfair for a long time. Dino Rabbit would not do anything remotely close to what it would used to be able to do. Thunder King Ryo needs to go to 3. Why that card's at 1 still, I don't know. Tour Guide from the Underworld... If Graph was banned, it should go to 2. If not, it should stay at 1. Necros of Brionic and Necros of Unicorn. These are probably the 2 most controversial cards that were hit because of what it did to Necros. Yeah, Necros of Brionic needs to go back to 2, and Unicorn should probably go to 2. Along with Shurt coming back to 1. Let's face it, guys. Like, Necros is not doing anything. Like, they literally removed a good deck out of the game. And I think that it gives like another deck that's contestant against Cosmo, which I think is incredibly, incredibly fair. Book of Moon needs to go to 2. I don't know why it's been at 1 all this time. Foolish Burial needs to be banned. Foolish Burial is literally one of the top cards that initiates like half the crap in this game. And I really don't know why this card's been like alive this long. Like, every single deck has some card that is good to be Foolish Burial to the graveyard and gets them some advantage for it. So if you would please ban that would be great. Monster Gate should probably go to 2. Why? Infernoids need a push. They literally have not done anything. Winning one Swiss section of YCS doesn't count for anything. Sorry. You don't. It really doesn't. Royal Tribute probably needs to be banned because, I mean, I know I would say it should increase Gravekeepers, but that card is literally completely one-sided and not fair. Soul Charge needs to be banned. I used to argue for this card not even being reduced at 1, but that's no longer the case. It's too powerful in the game. It needs to be banned. Bottomless Trap Hole needs to go to 2. Compulsory Evacuation Device needs to go to 3. Macrocosmos needs to be banned. I am tired of that card. Dimensional Fissure is okay to go to 2 if Macrocosmos gets banned. I would really prefer that. It keeps the decks in check that need to be kept in check, and the decks that play Macrocosmos get way too much advantage out of it. Macrocosmos is one of the worst and damaging floodgates to the game. Skill Drain needs to be axed. That card is way too powerful. If you have a deck that can play Skill Drain, like any deck let's say Yang Zings or Dark Worlds or Clyfords or Dragon Rulers, if you did the hit that I talked about, Skill Drain would be too powerful against any of the other decks. Vanity's Emptiness is a card that should probably go back to more than 1. It should probably go to 2. I'm not in favor of I'm not in favor of cards like Jin. But Vanity's Emptiness is not a Jin. It's affecting both players, and you can say, well, I'll set up my board state then flip Vanities, but the problem with that is like, if I out your vanities, you're not going to really do anything. And let's face it, special summoning right now is just way too crazy. It's absolutely insane. Atlantean Dragoons. This card could probably go to. I don't want to say it could go to 1, but if you hit a lot of the other decks and boosted some of the others, and Mermail Atlanteans would probably be pretty strong. So it could go to 1, it could stay at 2. I'm really hesitant to say it going to 1 though, just because Seer needs to go to 1. That card needs to go. Honest needs to go to 1. Actually, ban Honest. I'm tired of Honest. Honest is just one of the dumbest kill cards of the game, and it would definitely hurt Cosmos. Dark Hole needs to go to 1. I do not know why we have 2 Dark Hole Torrential Tribune and Regeki in the game. It's too much destruction. Dragon Ravine needs to go to 3 already. It's absolutely ridiculous. Legendary 6 Samurai Shian needs to go back to 1. Spellbook of Fate needs to go to 2. And that is my list on the Forbidden Limited list commentary. Sorry if you couldn't see my eyes. It's because it's the glare on my computer screen is reflecting on my glasses. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's something that you think that I missed, something that you would like to see change, and what you guys thought about this. I kind of gave some reasoning, and my previous video talked about cards that, could be, kind of hit, kind of not. I don't know. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is the part 2 and the end segment of the ban list discussion video. So see you guys next time. Yu-Gi-Oh! Theory TV, signing off.